Evening everyone, thank you for joining us on our first live stream, hopefully to try and bring everyone up to speed in using Google Classroom. So what I'm going to hopefully go through today is how to actually access Google Classroom, how to access some work, how to create any documents you might want, but also then how to actually contact teachers and submit work, which I think seems to be the big problem that we're facing at the moment. So bear with us, it is a really difficult time, but we thank you all for all your hard work and actually helping your children at home to actually get involved and start getting some work done with us. So the first thing that you actually need to do then when accessing Google Classroom is you need to first of all load the Hub website. Now this includes a huge amount of different resources, but the main one which we need to use is going to be Google Classroom. So for that, all you have to do is log in, and your children should already have the usernames and passwords, but I will show you at the end where you can go if for any reason they don't. Now all you then need to do is enter your Hub username and password, and once you have entered this Hub username and password, excuse my keyboard because it is quite loud, it should then log you into the Hub. Now once you've accessed the Hub, what you need to look for is Google for Education. Now generally it is down the bottom here, but you can also find it in what we're going to call the waffle, and again it will just appear at the top. So once you're there, you can click on Google for Education, and ideally it will go straight into your account. Now what it's done for me, and this is one of the problems which a lot of people are facing, it logs you into a different account. Now when you click this icon at the top, what you're hoping to see is a Hub Cymru account. Now as you can see here, it's logged into my school account. So all I'm going to do is add another account, and all I need to do at this point is put in once more your Hub email. Now if you haven't got any other account logged in at this point, it should log you straight into where you want to go, and you'll know it's a Hub email address because you'll see just a letter appears at the top, and now if I click it I can see that it is the Hub Cymru address. Now there's going to be two ways that you can join a class, and I'm going to go through both of them for you. So we've already set up a huge variety of different classes, but we've also sent you a list of codes. Now the first way you might be able to join a class is you will have a class appear to you, normally in the top left hand corner, and you can have a join or decline button. Now this means that you've been invited to join a class. So if you click the join button, it will take a couple of seconds and then it will actually just put you straight into that class where you can see all of the work. Again, to go back to your classes then, you need to click in the top left hand corner, click on classes, and it'll take you back to what I'm going to call the dashboard. Now the second way to join a class is by clicking the plus icon. I can click on join class, and I can then enter any class code that's been given to you by your teachers or distributed just prior before we actually closed. Now if you need any codes, don't use this code because it's a completely fake classroom. If you email us, which I'll show you the email right at the end of the class, I can actually show you those and you can join them then yourselves. So if I click join on this class, it should open what I've called, here we go, Digital Leaders, and it does exactly the same. Now at this point there's three main things that you're going to need to have access to. Now the first one of those is the stream. Now this could be where any member of staff is able to post anything. It's also where you can have the opportunity to actually post any work or any comments that you want to staff. So if there's any problems, you can just click say something to the class and you can type that and your teacher will get a notification. But what's more interesting and what we're going to need more is the actual classwork icon. Now when you click on classwork, you're going to find that there's not actually any classwork in here because I haven't put any yet. I'll put it into the other class in a second, but this is where you will see a huge amount of different work. Now for example, if I show you the ICT page and I go on classwork, you will see that there's different work for different year groups. Now obviously if you're in year 7 you can access the year 7 work, but it goes from year 7 to year 11. Now what we're also going to start doing from Wednesday of this week is we will start posting what we're going to call a weekly expectation. And what that will allow you to do is to see what your teachers are expecting of you this week. I know quite a lot of staff have put a lot of work on all at once, and it can be quite sort of bearing down on you, thinking, oh my god, what do I need to complete? So what we're going to do is put a weekly expectation of what we're expecting you then to complete for the week. So it might be that we're just expecting you to work in 1 file, 2 files, etc, etc. Now if I go back then onto the class, and I go into classes at the top, I'm just going to go back into this digital leaders class here. Now what I'm currently doing on another screen is I'm just going to put an assignment just so you can see how you can access this work. Now when staff are putting work up, what we're doing from now is we're actually going to make it so you can complete that work within the browser. However, if you want to actually do the work on paper, I will show you a place towards the end of the video where you can actually go and look for this work and actually take pictures of the work to send to us in a similar way. Now if I just refresh this page, it's just setting up an assignment now. What you should see in the stream is an assignment from a member of staff, which is me. So if I go into classwork, I can now see that this assignment's here. I can click on this assignment and click view assignment. Now if it's the first time that you're accessing a piece of work, it might take a little bit of time to load, but then what will happen is that you will appear or have a piece of work appear in the top right hand corner. Now if we've set it up correctly, which we've now made sure that we're doing from here on in, I can click on this piece of work and I can actually complete the work within the browser. So for example, if I just type in my name here, my form group, etc. Now everything that I do on here will automatically save, which is great. So if for any reason I need to close it, I can just go back onto it here and I'll be able to reload and look at that piece of work. What's also good is that if you're only completing, for example, a couple of pages of a booklet at a time, it doesn't mean you have to do it all in one. Now if you are or do have an assignment where you can't access that work online, what you can do is you can click on this option called Add or Create. Now if I click Add or Create, I can then actually choose a document which I want to put with that document. So for example, let's say you've been given a worksheet and all you can do is view that worksheet. If you want to create a document to store that information in, I can just click on Docs and that will create a document for me which I can then submit with this piece of work. For example, if I click on this one now, it'll open a blank document that looks like a Word document, and again if I was to write anything in here, I just put ICT department and close, everything will automatically save. So again, if I click on that piece of work, I can come back to it at any single point, which is really, really good. Now from here, there are various things that I can do. If I was to ask a class comment, that would be a public comment that everyone in the class would see, but what's probably going to be more beneficial is on the private comments. Now if I add a private comment, for example, hello, I'm having trouble with page 2, please could you check my work? As soon as I send off this comment, it will pop up on your teacher's emails and it will let them know that you have submitted a comment. What we can then do is we can actually go into the comment and reply, and if you've got the notifications enabled on a smartphone app, you will then get a notification once we've replied to that. Let's say then now in an ideal world all the work is completed and we're ready to send it. We can simply click hand in once more, and that will again give your teacher a notification saying that your work has been handed in. Now if you do that by mistake and you think, oh my god, I haven't actually finished my work, I need to bring it back to do a few changes, you can simply click unsubmit and that will tell your teacher that you've taken the work back and that maybe there's something else you want to do on that piece of work. Again, once that work's handed in, we can have a look, we can provide you with private comments, and then we can hand that work back to you. Now with this in mind as well, what we've put together is what we've called a help desk. Now this help desk is to give you basically everything that I'm going over today in a video form. So what we can find in this is if we scroll down, we have all of these headings for which that there is a video. So if, for example, I want to know how to submit classwork, I can click Submit Classwork. There's a YouTube video and also a guide ready to go. So please don't be afraid to use that. Now the final thing then, just to let you know, is if you are still having any trouble, please do not be afraid to get in contact with us. We've got an email set up for support, and we'll try and get back to you as soon as possible with this. But thank you very much for listening, and if you've got any questions, please email googleclassroom@ysgol.com. Thank you.